Drink. Okay. It's telling me we're live, so we should be live. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Appreciate everybody stopping by tonight. We've got Mike, Trippy, 1976, on the show tonight talking about Pathtags. So you want to stick around. You want to have a question for Mike. I know everybody does. You can give us a call. You can talk to him personally, 808-468-7924. Or you could ask a question in our chat room, but it's more fun to call in. We like to hear from you personally. And you could ask a follow-up question, and you guarantee your question gets asked. Sometimes we miss you in the chat room. So, although Jesse, isn't there a new thing to do where you could like tag a new thing in the chat room now? Can't you tag it? You could star one. If I star it, let's see.
You can hit the star and then up top.
And see what happens. Does it stay at
change
it doesn't
it,
say
change it over
top.
stars that way we don't lose them when it starts scrolling so fast.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that feature.
All right, is everybody ready? Chad,
Sure.
you all set?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. All right, let's get this started. Mike, we got to do some ancillary stuff in the beginning. Just sit tight if you don't mind. I'm just gonna throw you on mute, and I'll let you. I will say, "Hey, Mike," when you're good to go. All right. Cool. All right, here we go, guys. In 3, 2, 1.
You want to know how to find it. Seek it out when they hide it. You know it's in the bag when it's an easy grab. But come on, take a chance now. Go, geocache. If you need help, we're right there in a flash. If you got a question, just call in and ask. Uncover the stash on the Geocaching Podcast. The Geocaching Podcast.
Welcome, everyone. It's Wednesday. It's 8:30, which means it is once again time for the Geocaching Podcast. My name is Scott Burks. We have our co-host Short and Nits in the next room.
Hi there.
And please welcome to my virtual left, my other co-host, Jazz 427.
Howdy, y'all. It's time for Pathtags.
That's right, guys. Pathtags. Tonight's episode 727, recorded live on July 27th, 2022, is Let's Talk Pathtags Deuce. Phone lines are open. Give us a call, 808-468-7924. That is 808-GOT-SWAG. And for you international callers, you can call us free via the web at callinstudio.com/show/GCPC. But first, Chad, before we get to Trippy and the Pathtag discussion, we got to talk about Patreon, Chad.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, it costs a lot of money to make the show work. We talk about this every week. We could really use your help. There's 2 ways you could help us out. You can go to PayPal. That's PayPal.me/the Geocaching Podcast and make that one-time donation. Or, Chad, become a patron of our show. You say, why should I become a patron, Chad, is what they're saying. Why?
I know why.
Why? I get the show
I know why.
free. I get it for free already, Chad. Why should I knuckle up to the bar, do what's right, and put down some cheddar? Why?
Because you get more audio, you get more video, you get Pathtags, you get other swag, buttons. And if you're at the highest tier, you even get a GeoCoin.
A few left. You get patron-only shows. You get the end-of-the-year patron giveaway, the infamous end-of-the-year patron giveaway. You can't go wrong with that. That's the classic. Right. Oh, my God. Do you have any patrons? Remember, Chad, how many we had at the end of the year?
You had a ton.
It
took you a while to get to get them all out.
So I'm sorry, Jess. What were we saying? We cut you off. I apologize.
Patrons know what was in the envelope.
And patrons know what was in last week's envelope. Yes, Chad. Yes, Jesse. Excuse me. Patrons, they know. Will that come out this week? They do. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
That came out last weekend. Patrons know.
They talked about it. They kept talking and talking.
They had a few things to say.
They did. They had some comments on that. So you want to see what was in the envelope and all that good stuff, you become a patron of our show. Tiers starting as low as $3. All you got to do is go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Cachly. Cachly is an advanced geocaching app for iOS. It features powerful online and offline features, including filtered searches, offline maps, and offline saving of caches. Cachly has hundreds of advanced features that will make your geocaching experience just that much better. Get more info at cachly.com. That's CACHLY.com.
Tonight we're also sponsored. Oh, yeah, that was sponsored by. I thought that was Jesse for some reason. It's also sponsored by Logwork. Logwork are the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine Write in the Rain paper. The logbook designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who would rather go cash than do cash maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com. Wait, hold on.
It's also brought to you
Chad.
by.
Hold on, Jess. Hey, Chad. So Jesse and I were at Midwest,
Mm-hmm.
and Jesse pulls out a cash. Guess what the logbook was?
I bet it was green.
It was a Logworks book.
Logworks green, right in the
Hey,
rain.
that's Logworks. Hey.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
hey. I think I even dinged. Yeah, with my mouth. Ding. Sorry, go ahead, Jeff. But yeah, it's nice to see them in the wild. It's always cool to see your sponsor in the wild.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool. Sorry, go ahead, Jess.
And those are nice logbooks too.
They are
As the bonus.
fantastic. They are fantastic.
Tonight, they are fantastic.
Play on words.
It's also. Can I go now? I'm gonna
Yes.
start. Time number 4. I think we're up to 4.
Count me
It's
down.
also brought to you
me
by FTF Geocacher Magazine. FTF Geocacher is the magazine for geocachers written by geocachers. With 6 issues a year, FTF offers practical advice, hints and tips, cacher bios and milestones, geocaching events, trail tales, and all things geo-related. Find them at ftfgeocacher.com. That's ftfgeocacher.com.
And by the Max Suds Buddy Company. Max Suds Buddy makes handmade bath and body products from all natural oils and butters. Items such as Poison Begone soap, itch spray, and 2-cent choices of bug spray are all great for outdoor enthusiasts like geocachers. At Max Suds Buddy, we have you covered from head to toe. Find them at maxsudsbuddy.com. That's MACSUDSBODY.com.
And by Practical Geocache. Whoops, sorry.
I went and got out the Max Suds Body Itch Spray after Midwest Geobash and all that poison ivy out in the woods.
Yeah, on your ankles. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
How'd that work out for you?
That's great. They don't itch anymore. I'm not scratching.
No, you're not. You were miserable the other day.
It was bad.
And by practical geocaching creates us. They don't create anything. They sell utility items for geocaching. Items are made in the USA, and we always provide free shipping. Find them at practicalgeocaching.com. That's PRACTICAL geocaching.com.
And by Arted Crafted. Arted Crafted creates unique geocaching themed tees and custom designs for you or your geocaching group. With adult sizes ranging from small to 5XL, if you have an idea for a shirt design and cannot find it, you've come to the right place. Please give us the opportunity to show you how we can enhance your caching experience with your own custom design. Visit them at artedcrafted.com. That's ARTEDCRAFTED.com.
And
Much
by
like the
Pathtags.
shirt that Chad's wearing.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
So it's time. It's interruption time on the
Oh, no.
on the ads.
Oh, no. You lost the call.
So
I did
Oh.
lose the covers. I called
and by Pathtags.com for all your swag and Pathttag needs. And visit our website to get creative help to trade or log tags or to purchase your own personalized Pathttag with over 44,000 tags to collect. Pathtags.com is everything you need to start your Pathttag obsession. Visit them at Pathtags.com. That's PATHTAGS.com.
And by Geocaching Adventures LLC. Geocaching Adventures is a full-service travel agency specializing in creating the ultimate worldwide geocaching adventures for cachers and non-cachers alike. What could be better than having your geocaching bucket list vacation all planned and led by a traveling expert? Learn more by visiting us at geocachingadventuresllc.com. That's geocachingadventuresllc.com.
And finally, by GeoGo. Go caching with GeoGo, the geocaching app for Android that includes a Where I Go player, trackable scanner, companion watch app, and county finds database. If you're an advanced geocacher, GeoGo helps with powerful features like nearby cache notifications, optimized routes, offline mode, bulk TB logging, and much more. Learn more by visiting us at geogo.com. That's GEOOH-GO.com.
And as always, you can find links to our sponsors on our website or, Chad?
Or in our show notes.
In our show notes. I wonder why I dropped. That's weird. All right, guys, I'm going to do something totally horribly unprofessional right now, and I'm calling back the...
I think our internet might be
Thank
a
you
little slow
for
because I have
calling
like
Call-In
a
Studios
delay.
host and
Maybe that's
call
why I'm
screener.
interrupting everyone.
Please enter your show or meeting number and press pound.
Let's try one more time. Sorry, guys.
You
Maybe
guys
I'll
better
cut this.
call in now.
Enter
Yeah,
your
yeah.
6-digit
Somebody
PIN
better,
number.
somebody better call in now. There we go.
That was an invalid PIN
Oh,
for the
you did
Geocaching
not.
Podcast. Please re-enter your 6-digit PIN.
Oh, man.
If you think you have reached the wrong show, hang up and try again.
Oh, this is the wrong show, all right.
Welcome, host.
Yay.
You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Call-in Studio web interface. Audio recording is on.
Oh my God, I think I just hung up. Okay, no calls this week.
All right. Hey, no phone calls.
No phone calls this week because she just don't want to work this week. Okay, I am going to bring in Michael. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna unmute you, Mike. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. How are you?
I love I love that you're back on the show. It's been a few years since you've been on the show.
Called is not available.
Oh, stop.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hang up on her. Oh, we're leaving a voicemail, I think. It's great to have you back on the show. It's been a few years since you've been on the show, so it's appreciate that you've come back to us and see us.
Thanks for inviting me.
I want to start really quickly. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to start with the end. I'm going to go backwards here.
Okay.
Because you gave us a promo for the show,
did.
and I'm going to give the promo. Okay.
Okay.
So, guys, right now, if you guys want to actually get a promo, if you were thinking about ordering a path tag, if you were on the fence or I'm going to do it later, now's the time, because Michael has given us 2 promo codes. One is for the whole month of August, and it's a 10% bonus tags for any order that you do. Now, I've ordered, just so you guys know, I've ordered 2 separate ones today with this 10% bonus tag. Totally work. I promise you. I spent a lot of money at Pathtags.com today. But the other one, which I'm going to give you, is for 2 listeners. The first 2 listeners, okay, who use this one I'm going to give, will get 25% off their next order. It is only limited to the first 2 users and must be redeemed before the end of August. I think it's not going to go to the end of tonight. I'd be shocked if it went till tomorrow. So y'all who are listening to this tomorrow, you could try it. It's probably going to be gone. This is why you listen live, guys. So I'm going to just make sure you guys understand. This one I'm giving out first. This is actually I'm just going to copy and paste this whole thing. This one I'm going to put in the chat room. Jesse and Chad, you're both not allowed to use this one. You can't use the one I'm giving here right here. This one I'm going to post. You're not allowed to use. Okay. That one right there. For you listening who can't read it, it is the code is GCPC 254. That's FOR. So GCPC 25FOR2. Give it a shot. Maybe you'll win. I doubt it though. So you guys want to order Pathtags, 25% off's a lot of money.
That's a big discount, and I thought it'd be fun to see if we could get 2 people listening live, something a little extra for them, you know?
Yes, and I appreciate that, man. Okay, and this other one I'm giving out right now, this one is going to the end of August. I'll give everyone listening 10% bonus tags. 10% bonus tags, and that is GCPC. This will be good through everybody can use this. GCPC Pathtags 22. GCPC Pathtags 22.
Yep. So if you order 50 tags, you get 55. If you order 100 tags, you get 110, and so on.
I ordered 110. I actually got 220 because I ordered 2 different tags. Does it work on refills? It does work on refills. I refilled my 2 orders today. It absolutely works on refills. Yes, it does, sir. So, Mike, thank you. First of all, thank you for that. Sorry, and I started the show with that, but I wanted to get it out there into the cosmos so people can order if they want to order. So,
well,
okay.
we can check at the end to see if it got used. Just for curiosity.
So let's start with you. Sure. Give me talk to me about your geocaching name, your geocaching stats, anything you want to talk to me about.
I'm Trippy 1976. I've been geocaching since 2002. That's when I first learned about it in a newspaper article. Immediately went out and tried it and hooked ever since. For me, I've spent a lot more of my time geocaching on the social end of things. I really love going to events and meeting people, and that's one of the reasons we created Pathtags. Was it's a signature item, right? Originally it was a signature item, and our motto or our slogan is "Who have you crossed paths with?" And so it was kind of the idea was how do we enhance people's experience with geocaching and then let them know who they've come across in a more enhanced way. I started the Michigan Geocaching Organization with some friends in 2002. And then in 2005, I was one of the original organizers of the Midwest GeoBash, which I served on the planning committee for 13 years before the current crew started to take it over, and I retired in part and now in full. But one of the things I think I can lay claim to is that more people have been to events that I have personally planned than anyone else in the world.
Really?
Yeah, it's around almost 11,000 people have attended my events.
Wow.
So
Wow. There you
that's
go.
probably my favorite stat. If you look at my fines, they're less impressive, and they reflect the amount of time I spend on those other activities. I'm only at about 1,100 fines, so it took me 20 years to get to 1,100.
1,100. Wow.
Yep.
That's looking Chad.
Yeah, and I probably bumped that by 10% this week at the GeoBash. So
Well, Adventure Labs, hasn't that bumped your numbers considerably? It must have bumped your numbers.
it did. It was kind of funny. I was doing the Adventure Labs. I was like, I hadn't gone out and done one yet, and I'm like, man, what do fine counts even mean anymore?
Yeah, I
So,
know. With
anyway.
eventually, it's funny, not to totally go off track, but Jesse was
Derail.
talking to me the other day, about how what was it, Jess? You want to see find people's number counts before and after Adventure
Yeah, I'm
Labs?
curious.
Labs,
Yeah, like when Adventure Labs really took off a couple years ago, I'm curious to see like the average cacher's annual fines, prior to and after, because I mean, we had 55 Adventure Labs that we found just on the fairgrounds over the weekend, and then we went out and got another, I don't know, 30, 40 more.
Yeah,
So that was
yeah.
well over half of our fines for the weekend.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's funny. Like when we launched Pathtags in 2006, I went out to Temecula to the GeoCoin Fest out there to kind of promote them and stuff. And I remember, somebody walked up to me at the table and they said, "Does anybody famous have one?" And I didn't know how to respond to that because it's like, what does that mean in our especially then in 2006? So I just looked at them and said, "Well, I've got one." And they didn't think that was very funny. But I was like, well, I'm somewhat famous. I've had a GeoBash under my belt, and I started Michigan Geocaching Organization at that point, and GeoCoin Club. And so I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm famous. But he did not think so.
He didn't think you were Geo.
No.
So not enough.
I did not
Not enough to
qualify.
order.
No.
So talk to me about pathtags.com then. How did it start? Where did it come from?
Sure. So,
Start.
I mean, our company's name is GeoCoin Club LLC, and we actually started in 2005 making geocoins on a monthly basis through a subscription plan. That went pretty well, and so we started then making coins to sell on a store. So we own geocoinstore.com. And then people started asking us, "Hey, would you make me a coin? Personal coin?" And we're like, "Sure." And we were telling them the price tag, and they were just like blown away. I was like, "Oh my God, how expensive!" Like, $1,000 plus, depending on what the design is. And people were just like, "Wow, that's not what I was looking to spend." So we were sitting around talking, and I was like, there's got to be a way to do something like a geocoin, but that's a little bit more accessible to people financially, and that we can still keep a lot of the coolness of the geocoin present in the product. And after kicking around a lot of stuff and doing a lot of samples and whatnot, we finally landed on the Pathtag product, which is the quarter sized metal tag. One side is your custom design, which is nice because if you ever try to design a coin, you can always get a great idea for the first side, and it's so hard to fill in a meaningful second side a lot of times. So it takes a lot of the pressure off to only have to do one side. And because we have a standard backside library, it keeps the cost low, but still allows additional customization and personalization of the product. So, that was kind of the idea. They're metal, they're highly durable, they're colored with enamel, they're easy to collect and trade. People even trade them by mail in an envelope, so they're postage friendly. We originally put a little hole in them, and we did that because we thought people would use that to kind of hang them on a peg So like we were imagining pegboards of people displaying these, or on a keychain or whatever. They do come with keychains, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
and it was kind of amazing because people exceeded our expectation on innovation, and the product itself has an iron base and therefore is attracted to magnets. So magnets became like the way that people display a lot of these things in a holder. But we kept the hole because it was kind of a it was kind of a little trademark at that point. And we've been doing them for a while, so that's kind of the origin of it. And like I said, we launched in August of 2006 without a whole lot of fanfare, and my goal was to get to 100 tags by the end of that year. And I don't remember exactly how many we sold, but after Temecula, it really did take off, and it's been going ever since. So yeah, I think we hit something there.
I love the fact that they're magnetic. In fact,
Yeah.
Jesse displays hers on a magnetic board with just tiny little magnets. It's
Well,
fantastic.
it makes it really interesting because like for those of you listening on the audio, I'm holding up a geocoin that is the style we call a Pathtags Sherpa, because it's got a magnet in the coin, and so you can actually remove the path tag that comes with it and change it. And then one of my other favorite projects that somebody did was they made this little frame that's just a white area with a place to put a path tag.
Oh, nice.
And then people were getting this and putting artwork and stuff in it, and of course I just put my path tag with my face in it. But they're just so creative and cool. Some of the things people are doing with path tags, it just always amazes me.
And they're just ridiculously cheap. I
Yeah.
mean, you can get 100 of them for $100. You can't go wrong with that.
So the hole in mine, and I gotta stand up here, is over here. So I wouldn't want to hang it on there because my character would be sideways, and I actually wound up 3D printing earring holders, or a coin holder, and to turn it into earrings for my wife, so that it would be oriented correctly, and so she loved those. But yeah. So sometimes with your characters and stuff, that hole is in the best location to hang things. So magnets work great.
Yeah.
Work great. Yeah, they do. They do work out great. And you know what? I love when people actually incorporate the hole into the design.
Yeah.
I don't see
Oh, yeah.
It's really cool when when you actually see it.
Isn't there like a Pac-Man one out there where it's eating the
eating the hole?
Eating the hole, yeah. Like it's
there's-
eating the dot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
So what's the process of creating them? Can you talk about the process of creating a path tag, just for people who are curious?
Yeah, so it's funny. I was watching some of the chat messages fly by, and a couple people mentioned what is the hardest thing is coming up with the design, right? The original design that you want to do. So first you get a design. You can do that yourself, or you can engage. We have a group of people called design partners, which are like freelancers that are really good at making designs. They're pretty affordable as well. I use them a lot of times for my own designs because I am not an artist kind of guy. So you get the design ready, and then you go onto the website, and we have an order process where you choose the kind of tag you want. The most popular one we have is the round traditional tag, we call it. That's the one with a hole. It's about the size of a quarter. But you can also order what we call shapes. Shapes are a little bigger. So we're a quarter. A traditional one's 0.9 inches. It's about the size of a U.S. quarter. A shape tag can be up to 1.25 inches in any direction. So you can make a 1.25 inch square, or you can make a circle, or you can make any shape you want. Like I'm holding up one for those listening. Looks like a fireball.
No, I just got that one.
Or a comet.
Where'd I come up with that from? Where'd that come? I just got it. I got it.
I probably gave it to you. Probably gave it to you at Bash. Yeah, I brought a bunch of those at Bash.
Yeah, I have one.
So you can do the shape. The shape's nice because it's a little bigger, and you can make it whatever shape you want. So if you want it to be a fire hydrant or a star or whatever, and there's a two-sided option for shapes. So if you really have a strong desire to completely customize the front and back, that option does exist. And of course, depending what you pick, the cost goes up a little bit from the base standard traditional ones. If you add bigger tag, two sides, right? These do bring the cost up, but all in all, it's still a lot cheaper than making a geocoin. You get that order, you get the order in, you upload your design, you make your selections for the options. We have things like glitter and glow, and what do you want to have on the back, and do you want to have I call it a vanity code. So, serial codes on the back allow people to log your tags. They can either be random numbers, but you could choose one. I have a little round one that I use as almost like a business card. So I give it out to people, and on the back, my code is "You met Mike." It's a little shorter, but so you can do those kinds of options, and then you place the order, and a couple days will go by, and we'll post back on your account what we call a blueprint. It's production ready artwork that the factory prepares for us. They're the ones that have to make the tag and make it a high quality product. We have specific agreements with them and things like that we've perfected over 15 years of working with them. And so they know our expectations, but they'll take a design, and if it's not quite production ready, they'll massage it a little bit. But this is kind of a neat feature of the process, because sometimes people will just hand draw a design, and that's fine because we're going to send it to a drafter anyway, right? Sometimes people will just take a photograph. One of the coolest tags I've seen was somebody took a picture of a bear while they were geocaching in Alaska, and just sent put a little bit of text in the picture, but mostly it was just a photograph, and we sent it in, and they were able to modify that to a producible design, and it looks awesome.
Nice.
So that's a cool tag. But we'll get you back what we call blueprint. You review the blueprint. If there's anything in it that you don't like sometimes they'll misspell a word or not see a little feature that you had in there, or certain aspects are important to people that may look like they're open for simplification or change in that process, and they have to kind of go back and forth a little bit. But that's kind of the idea. If it looks good, you approve it, and if not, you reject it, and you provide some comments with the rejection saying, here are the things I need modified, and then we send it back for modification, and when we get it back, we post it again, and so on and so forth. At this point, everything's like totally cancelable. You can pull the plug at any moment, and we fully refund your purchase, because nobody's got skin in the game at this point. There's no investment that's been made. Once you approve it, pretty quickly after that, it goes over and the factory starts working on it, and that's when we start incurring some costs. So we want to make really sure that everything looks great before you approve it. So we've had some times in the past where somebody goes, they approve it, and then they'll email us and say, it's all approved as long as, but by the time we get that email, it's like already been started, and we have to charge them a new mold fee to change something, or so just make sure it's right and it's what you want. That's what we want too. And if it doesn't work out, that's the other thing. People, what if my design doesn't work? That's cool, because until you submit that approval, we can cancel it completely. No harm, no foul. So some of the coolest tags I've seen are kind of these risky designs, I would call them, where I saw them, oh, that's never going to work, and then it comes back and it's amazing. So I would just say, take a swing, even if you think your design's not workable. If you don't have a design, like I said, photographs, drawings. I did 1 year when my son was younger. I just had him draw like a stocking and Christmas, whatever the year was, and I sent that in, and it came back as an awesome. It was just my kid's crayon drawing that I sent in. It came back really cool, and we put that in our Christmas cards that year. To family, because that's one of the other things. Again, not to get off track, but there's a bunch of clubs and different social aspects of path tagging. One of them is the Path Tag Exchange, which occurs around the holiday season. People will make a bunch of holiday themed tags, and then there's a mass trading thing that goes on and gets orchestrated through the forums and the Facebook group, where you end up with a bunch of holiday themed tags, and a lot of people will decorate trees with them. That's because they got holes with the little. So you can put the little hook on them and hang them on your trees.
Right.
So that's some cool stuff. Anyway, and then once you make your approval, right now it's about 5 weeks. The last 2 years have been really interesting in terms of running a small business that ties into manufacturing over in China and the global logistics and supply chains. And
I can't even imagine. Yeah.
it's been upside down. Sometimes we'll get a message from our factory rep saying, sorry, we're in Hong Kong and we're being forced to stay in our houses for 2 weeks. So it's like, well, okay, I guess we'll talk to you in 2 weeks. And we got an email out of the blue one day. USPS is no longer servicing Australia. Well, then how do we ship to Australia? So it's been an interesting year, and it's been all the 15 years. I always marvel at the fact that I was just some dude in Michigan at the time who decided they were going to make these things and have them made in China, and the whole idea at that time was just so fantastic. And now the world is so small. Yep. So we had so many cool opportunities to just interact with that kind of world. It's been neat from that perspective too.
And the beauty part about them is that they are just so cheap. I shouldn't say they're I don't want to say cheap. They're inexpensive.
Affordable. Right.
Affordable. Absolutely, 1,000% affordable. How not everybody doesn't have these is crazy. They're so affordable. I mean, you get 100 for $100, guys. If you've never gotten a coin made, you have no idea. It's 700 times that cost.
You correct it. You get 50 for 120. So it's still pretty affordable. But
50 for 100.
Yeah. And then if you refill them, it is 120 gets you 100. So
there you go. Maybe because I just did a refill. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, because the refill we reuse your mold. So you got the notice thing, hey, your mold's about to expire. We keep the molds for 3 years from the last order that uses the mold. And then if you place the order within those 3 years, you don't have to pay the setup fee essentially again. So you get extra more tags. So that's the situation with that. But we've held our price. We've only done 2 price increases in 15 years. So we try to keep them affordable, but at the same time, everything's going up right now, and we just did our second price bump ever was not too long ago. So that's probably new information that we're there.
Yeah. So let's talk about the cost. Let's traditional tag. Let's talk about a traditional tag. How much is a circle normal everyday tag you see out in the wild? What's the cost there?
So they start at 120 for what we call a starter kit, and that's your first 50 tags with the setup fees, right? And then after that, it's $120 for 100 more. If you order, like when you buy the starter kit, you can add extra tags, and those are at a lower per item price. I don't remember exactly what it is, but you can save money. Like if you know you're going to go to a big event, you wouldn't just make 50. You'd make 150, 200, whatever you needed for that event. So it'll give you a little bit of a cost savings there too. And then you can add all kinds of options. So the options, you can go hog wild with the options, or you can keep it pretty simple, and you can keep it at $120 price is what you have to pay to buy a standard path tag. If you add glitter, glow, custom back, serial number, you can add it up a little bit, but it's still going to be under $200 usually for the craziest setup, which is still pretty good. And one of the things we really wanted to do with Pathtags when we started it was we didn't want there to be a big division in value between your tag and my tag, right? I wanted to have the ability to just comfortably exchange tags with anybody without having to be like, well, I paid $400 for my tags and you only paid $100 for your tags, So we wanted them to all be, more focused on the design than the actual features of the product in terms of value,
I personally find them affordable enough that I hand them out. If you want to trade, fine. I'm more than willing to hand mine out. Not say there's a large percentage of the crowd out there is more than willing to just go ahead and give you one of their pat tags. But when you get to the big mega events, you got some of those that are it's strict 1-for-1 trade.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you find them. You used to find them all the time in caches. Occasionally, you find them now. Not like they used to be.
Yeah.
If I find a good cache out there and I've got my pat tags on me, I'll definitely drop my pat tag in them.
I do too, especially like old ones.
Mhm.
I mean, I love doing that too. And actually, this is one of the things that makes them awesome is they'll fit in practically anything.
Oh yeah.
Most of the nano ones, no, not so much. But one of the reasons I loved them when I started making them was a lot of the caches were, pill bottles or they were the film
Film
canisters,
canisters.
and these will still fit in there. You know,
Mhm.
um, you don't want them to get wet because they're made of iron, they'll rust. But if long as the cache is in good shape, you can throw them in. They'll fit in practically anything. They'll even fit in those little key holders, that people put up underneath because they're flat and they just lay in there
Mhm.
underneath a logbook. So I loved leaving. I still love leaving signature items in caches when I find them, and so for me, I still leave them every time I find a cache they'll fit in. I put one or two or three in them. Yeah, I mean the size of them does make them very useful just for geocaching, right? And they were originally intended as signature items, but I think a lot more people collect them and trade them in person and by mail today than probably by geocaches.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And any pro tips you got for first timers?
Yeah, I
Wait.
always say, keep it simple. Um, it's kind of tempting to be like, I'm gonna make a path tag, and I love dogs, and I love ice cream, and I love rainbows, and I'm from Michigan, and I, race cars, and it's like it's the size of a quarter, right? So
Right.
we got to find something, but also make it personal. That's one of the great things about
Yeah.
tags is they're usually about the people who make them, right? Their interests, their hobbies, themselves. Like I like to make the pictures of myself. No, just kidding. That's only a couple of those I've done. But yeah, keep it personal, but keep it simple because it is a small space. Keep it. We imposed a 10 color limit, and people were like, "Oh no!" But it's like, you know what? I've never seen an amazing tag with 30 colors on it because again, it's just too crazy. And
Right.
so the 10 color limit actually plays in your favor. And I like my favorite tag I have of myself is two colors, and so is this fireball. This is two colors, and my 2008 bash tag is one color. It's not necessarily important to have 1,000 colors. A simple design is probably the key. It also gets you out of the analysis paralysis. Design is the hardest thing, right? So if you have a hard time getting through the thought process, you have too many options, just kind of pick one that really appeals to you. Everybody's got a geocaching nickname. Probably most of us have some kind of little, emoticon or icon that goes with that. Use that potentially, or take a photograph that you've really liked from one of your caching exploits and use that as a starting point. But there's also the design partners I mentioned. So like I can get an idea, I can't usually draft it. But if you talk with one of the design partners, they can make that easy too. So design's usually the hardest thing. I say keep it personal, keep it simple. You won't get overwhelmed. You won't get stuck in the analysis paralysis mode. Um, and then you can get going with enjoying tags.
Mhm.
That's my biggest pro tips.
Okay, fair enough. And so let's talk about pathtags.com, the website.
Sure.
So tell us about that. Tell us about what does it do? What can I do on Pathtags?
So on pathtags.com, we have basically a gallery, first of all. So you can go there and you can see in the gallery all the different tags that are out there. Now, we do have it set up so as a path tag owner, I can say whether or not my design appears in the gallery. So you won't see every tag, but you'll see a lot of tags. You'll be able to search there by the name of the tag. There's keywords that you can filter by. You can go in if you're really into glitter, you can say I want to see all the ones with glitter on them. We have a feature for trading. So if I say people can offer me trades on my tag, then other people who want to trade will be able to initiate a trade with me where they can say, hey, I'll give you this tag for your tag. So that's there. We also have a thing called wish listing, which is kind of the reverse of trading. So what we found out early on was that trading is kind of like blind. Like, I like your tag. I don't know if you're going to like the one I offer you, right? And so a lot of people were saying, I'm happy to trade with you, but I don't want the tag you're offering, so I'm going to decline the trade. And it got into this cycle with people where it was like getting kind of frustrating. So we introduced a feature called wish listing, which a lot of people prefer, which is instead of me offering you a tag, I basically put your tag on my wish list, and then it gives you the option as the owner for a few days. You get exclusive rights to go and fulfill that trade, and you can pick from any of my extras. So when you go in and initiate a trade, if I've logged my collection online, which is another feature of the website, I can keep track of my collection. I can put however many extras I have of each design that I've got, not just my own, but all of my tags. Then you as a fulfiller will see all of my extras, and you can choose one that you like. And we find that that's a higher quality trading experience because everybody's getting something they want in that case, and it's known, right? I asked for one specifically. You got to pick the one that you're going to send me. So the wish listing feature is a big deal. Logging tags, of course. So if you've been to an event like Midwest GeoBash, you might come home with 100 tags. Well, we have a feature where you can log a tag one at a time, but we have a bulk loading feature as well, so you can just load up all your tags from the weekend, hit submit. We have you can keep track of your tags, your collection, your orders, any of the trades going on. You can set things like default messages. So if I'm going to offer you a trade, it automatically sends you a default message that I've put in. So it's a pretty feature-rich value add to just the product, right? So a lot of people think of Pathtags as the round metal tag, but we think of it as the whole shoot and match. It's the tag with the website and all the value-added features of the website. And so, yeah, that's been something we work on. We introduce new features, as they are needed. A lot of the work that goes into that website these days is just, maintenance. So, it's you're not going to see a lot of revolutionary new features necessarily, but we've kept it online for over 15 years now, and
it's a community. It is a community.
It is a community, yeah. And forums that we have forums. Forums are kind of passe at this point in internet history, I think, but they're still pretty active actually. Our forums are pretty active, and there's a lot of people, connecting with each other that way. There's also a bunch of Facebook groups now, which is great. We don't manage or operate most of them, but there's a bunch of them that have been created by people who just enjoy, collecting and trading tags. And so there's a lot of great ways to meet up with people online. And then, like I said, if you go to a big event like GeoBash or Geo Woodstock or Moga or Glen Caching or any of those places, you're gonna find people with Pathtags, and they're gonna be trading them. Yeah. They're gonna be handing them out, like Chaz said. It's a neat way to enhance people's social experience out in the field while they geocache. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have mine for Seattle. I'll have a handful. That's about it, guys. If you find me early, if you want Pathtags.
On that point, I mean, it is a physical product, and the way they're made is interesting. They're stamped, in metal by a machine, and then they are plated, and then they are taken into a clean room, and somebody literally sits there with a syringe.
That's amazing. That's crazy.
And fills the colors. And so it does just take time, right? It takes time, especially like every color has to be applied by hand, but then you also have to let it dry after every color. So they're constantly cycling through, they'll put a color on this one and then put it aside, and then they'll do the next one with some color, and then they'll come back to the first one, after it's dried for a bit. It's a pretty labor-intensive process, and it creates a beautiful product, but for that reason, it's unfortunate we can't just sort of bam out,
Right.
They do take a little time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty. They come. It's
amazing.
They're great.
As labor intensive as it is, it's amazing that it's that cheap.
Well, it's like everything. I was reviewing some of the GeoBash rules and policies, and I was kind of chuckling because I'd come across a paragraph. I'm like, well, I know why we wrote that one. I know who caused that one. And there's been some times with the Pathtags where we'll submit a couple things, it'll get a little popular, and then we'll get a message from the factory saying, you can't do this anymore. This is killing us. So one of those things was I had this idea called Pixel Tag, and the idea was, like I said, if we can take out the setup cost, we can drive down the cost of a tag pretty well, because a large component of that first order is the setup. So I created a tag that was just a bunch of little squares, And the idea was you could fill those little squares in with whatever colors you wanted. You can make a pixel design, right? And that way, if you wanted to make a pixel design, you could use that as the basis and not have to pay
The template.
the template fee.
Or
Right?
it would be the yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It'd be like a refill cost. It would be a lot cheaper.
right, right.
So we did that, and I did a couple, and then the factory, some people got, I think there was a Kermit the Frog one that one of the design partners did, and anyway, it kind of caught on a little bit, but when you think about it, I can't remember. I think each one had like 89 little squares on them.
Oh my goodness.
And so if you had 100 tags, that's 8,900 little squares that have to be filled in by hand and perfectly, right? So if one little pixel's off, you can imagine how crazy it is. And it's by hand. If it was automated, if it was a machine doing it, maybe it'd be different. But that's one of the ones they finally said, I'm sorry, we just can't do these. Like, because we can't do them. Like, we've done... I tried to do this order, and we had to remake like 48% of them because we were just one pixel off on a couple of them, So that's when we kind of had to kibosh. So I mean, there's been a couple of those things where over the years, it's like I call them the rule makers, So we don't do that anymore. And then the 25 color tags kind of broke everything. Where they're like, okay, we're gonna start charging you for anything above 10, and we're like, 10's all right. So that's when we put in the 10 color limitation. But I like it. It's just like geocaching, right? People continually push the limits. You give them just a couple of variables, and the things you get are really infinitely cool. They keep coming up with new stuff.
So you've been doing this since how long? Since when did it start?
We launched in August of 2015, so we're coming up here on our, math's hard, 17th year?
That's five.
August of
06.
You said 15.
August of 2006 is when we launched. Sorry.
It's like,
so I guess
I had some before 2015. I pretty much guarantee that.
So it's 16 years in August, right? That's a pretty good run.
All right, let me know what's one of the coolest things you've seen and or done since creating Pathtags.com. You've been at this a long time. You've probably seen some really cool things.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and it's one of the harder ones to answer. Like I said, it's the designs are awesome. The things people do for displaying them are awesome. One of the things I really thought was awesome was, and I went back to do the forensics, so I'm hoping whoever's listening to this will forgive me. But somebody originated the idea of playing LCR with Pathtags. And I thought that was the coolest idea. And if you guys ever want to have a fun activity at one of your events, this is a great one. Go out and get a couple sets of LCR. If you're not familiar with it, it's left, center, right. It's a very simple dice game. And the way it was structured was really neat, is each person, and there's between 7 and 9 players at a table. Each person sits down with 3 Pathtags. You put them in front of you, and the rules tell who goes first. I think it's the youngest player goes first, and then after that, whoever joins the table most recently gets to go first. But you roll the dice, and the dice tell you what to do. If it's an L, you have to pass one of your Pathtags to the left. If it's an R, you have to pass one to the right. If it's a C, you have to put it in the center, and if it's a dot, you get to keep it. And the idea is, this goes on, and people are passing tags around, rolling dice. It happens really fast. A game takes about 5 minutes. But when it's done, there's one person that has tags still in front of them. That person wins the round and gets all the tags. So if you're playing with 7 players, everybody puts in 3, which isn't a huge risk for Pathtags, and you win up to like 21 tags, and then you start another round. And it's kind of a really cool game because it gets everybody around a table. It's real fast paced. You're passing tags back and forth. They're all different. So you get to see a bunch of tags, and you might walk away with a little pile of them. I thought that was really a cool idea. And they did it at GeoBash again this year, and I think it's a cool activity. If you're going to do something Pathttag related at an event, super easy. You go to Target or wherever, you can get these LCR dice. They're like $5 a set. And then they come with little chips in them, but you can put those aside because you're going to use Pathtags instead of the chips. But you roll the dice and you play a few games. And it's a great, easy game because It's not a long-term commitment. So if I'm at an event and I see it going on, I want to play a few rounds, I'm in for 10 minutes, I'm out. I had some fun, I'm on my way. But if you want to play for an hour, you can play for an hour. It is a really cool, fun game. So that was one of the things that really I thought was kind of one of the neatest things I've seen people do with Pathtags. And I liked it because it reinforces the whole idea of like, this is a social thing, right? Product to help you cross paths with people. And this is a great way to pull them together at the event. And I just also love the trading, at the event, like a Geo Bash, we had tables set up at specific times. You go in there and there's just a ton of people trading tags. And, I think, iDoc went home, he posted, he had over 100 tags and he, picture of him on his house and stuff like that. But I don't know, it's, there's been so many cool things done with Pathtags. Most of it, I think, is the design work, but I also really thought the Pathtag LCR thing was pretty cool.
Well, that is pretty cool, And were they originally meant to be a signature item? What was the thought going into them?
Pathtags, yeah. I mean, like I said, it was kind of like a surrogate geocoin, right? We wanted them to be personal items, but people were coming to us asking, like, can I get a geocoin made? And geocoins are very expensive, right?
Very expensive.
First of all, the tracking codes alone are $1.50 piece.
Yeah, very expensive.
So I mean, and then the mold fees, the setup fees for coins are a lot more expensive. So yeah, we were like, we want to give people that experience, that geocoin experience, but in something a little more affordable, a little more attainable. Kind of sometimes puts us on the outs with geocaching.com because they want to sell those tracking codes. And yeah, I had early conversations with them though, saying, this is the Yugo, right? If anybody can afford the Lamborghini, they buy the Lamborghini, right? Nobody buying a Yugo is gonna buy a Lamborghini, and that's the whole thing, right? So it's not like I'm putting people out that would buy a geocoin or a trackable. They will still do that, right? If they're gonna put out that kind of money, that's a different class of buyer. Pathtags are for the economy buyer. They're the Toyota Corollas, they're very reliable. They give you the nice experience. They're comfortable, but they're not, Mercedes or, whatever. And I'm not going to go buy a Mercedes if I can't afford one, but it'd be nice to have a good experience in my lower end car. And I kind of think the same way about Pathtags versus geocoins and trackables is people are going to buy trackables. They're budgeted for it. They're going to buy them, right? And people who can't buy trackables, this is an attractive option to give you a similar experience. With trading and collecting. And also, I mean, I think it's like I've got on my wall here, which nobody can see, even you guys on the camera. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 10 of these plastic display things that we used to sell, filled with 80 tags each, right? So I've got 800 tags just right there on my wall. It's great because I can easily display 800 tags. And try to do that with geocoins. They're big, they're heavy, they're not easy to put on anything, right? How many can you bring to an event? I brought like probably 5,000 Pathtags to the event last weekend, and it fit into, it was a big suitcase, but it fit in a suitcase. But the idea is like they're just more manageable, they're more portable, and especially if you get a big collection, right? They just take up less space. They're easier to enjoy, right? I can see all of my favorite tags right there on the wall. They're there every day in my office. I change them out just so you guys know. If I get one that I do have it limited to those 800. So if I get one that I think I like better than one of them, I bump one. So
it's like Pathtag Survivor. Look at you swapping out.
And the ones the ones on the wall are not samples. These are ones that I've traded with people in person or through the mail. So that's a special set of tags for me, because I get a sample of everything. That's the other. When I'm at an event and I'm handing out Pathtags, people are always so generous. They're like, "Here, take mine." I'm like, "I don't need it," But sometimes I just say thank you because it's harder to explain, and I don't want to hurt any feelings. But I usually save those. They'll either go on my my wall of fame, or I'll put them into a donation at one of the events auctions or something like that to help them raise some money.
Sure. Yeah. No, I used to that. Yeah, no, I agree. No, I love getting them from people. I feel bad when I don't have mine. If I don't have mine on me.
Oh God.
What?
I just one of the things I saw fly through in the chat, and it's probably gonna sound like favoritism, but I saw NP Glenn's on the listening on the show, and NP Glenn is like one of our OGs. He's one of the very original Pathag buyers. So I just wanted to say hi. It's nice to see NP Glenn around and still chatting. But you know, I don't know. I haven't been able to pay attention to the whole chat as it's been going by. But
Yeah, it's difficult. I know it's
I
difficult.
took a few notes, and that was one of them earlier in the show. He said hi. I was like, oh, I remember him.
There you go. Question for Mike: how many tags did you end up with from Midwest Geobash?
Me personally, mostly they were bash tags. You know, I've got the nice ones that come on the cards. Like I said, I discourage people from giving me theirs since I get them a lot. So I think I came home probably with more like 50 or 60, but I didn't go hard. Like some of the people who did go hard, they came home with 100, 200. You know,
Yeah.
so pretty
I
easy
came
to
up
pick
with
up.
like 5, I think.
I think I had like
Right.
22.
Actually,
Yeah.
it is one of the
not
newer
a big
things.
haul this year.
I don't have it near me, but the GeoBash, they do have a nice thing where, and we've done this a couple of times, where there's a printed card that has a background or a scene.
Jesse's grabbing. She's reaching.
Okay.
Like
And
she's
the
got
tags, the tags are affixed to the card, so it makes a whole scene with the tags in them and stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Jesse has her earbuds off. Everybody talk nasty about her. Oh,
It's actually
No bueno.
I already
There you
took the
go.
tags off, but you can see the spaces where they were.
And it's funny because what was I thinking? Oh, the Pathag Club. So there is a club you can subscribe to on pathtags.com.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I wanted to touch base with that. Yes, let's talk about
Well,
that.
you get tags every month if you subscribe to it. And this year, we created a design that if you get all 12, it actually does sort of incorporate into one big design. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, the Wally
stuck
one
one
was
of
a
them
bit.
back on
They
there
made a
for
Wally
you.
one. Ian, I didn't know the Wally one was gonna be a path tag.
It's on
I
my
didn't
wall.
order that. That's Jesse ordered that. I didn't order that. Jesse went full flamingo package.
Full flamingo.
I'm too cheap.
I
to go
always
full
do. I'm
flamingo.
a supporter.
I support Ian in other
So,
ways. I support him.
This box, nothing but path tags that I've collected at events that I still
Oh my
haven't,
God.
that
You
I
haven't
still
even-
Wow.
have not
Owie.
logged. They will get logged eventually.
What does Jim say? Skybrooks, check your email. Show them what a pre-blueprint design looks like. Check my
But
email.
cargo
Oh, stop
cargo
the
shorts are a must, in my opinion, when trading them. So I keep
Oh yes.
the giveaways in my right pocket, in the right front pocket, and the collects in the left front pocket. Otherwise, I'll start mixing them together, and it's like, oops, nope, that's not the one.
Yeah, actually, somebody on the chat, Melody, mentioned the one she likes or the one she has to earn, and that's a great point. A lot of geo tours and park systems and things like that, they'll use path tags because they're so much more affordable. They can give them out to more people, right? And it attracts more people to do their program. We have actually a lot of path tags in Texas state parks. So if you're in Texas, you can go to pretty much any state park in Texas, and you'll find path tags for sale in their gift shop. One for each state park, and we've been doing that with them for years. The general public thinks they're keychains, but they are path tags, and you can show up and they're just there in the gift shop.
And you can log them at pathtags.com too. They're loggable. and
Correct.
everything.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
They are path
I
tags.
did not know that. I probably thought it was a keychain.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the general public, they do think it's a keychain, and I think they actually label it keychain, but they are path tags, and they're in every Texas state park. So if you're out caching in Texas and you find yourself in a state park and you're a path tag collector, stop in the store and check it out.
Yeah,
Hey,
I've
Jim
got
Arcade-
quite a few from when I lived in Texas.
Jim RK wanted me to show you. This is what it looks like, guys. A templated one. This is templated. He emailed it to me. This is templated. I apologize for listening. But people who are watching the show, I can't see. Can you see it? There you go. Wait, hold on. There we go. That's what a template looks like that you send out to get approved. And then once then it gets sent back with a design that, right? Is this? Yeah, this is not approved.
Yeah. And then once you approve it, then it goes into production.
Then it goes into production. Yes. Yes. All right. So okay. The monthly. I'm sorry. Did you the monthly group? Does that cost money? Is that free? Or is that-
Yeah. Unfortunately, no. Yeah, it is cost money, but like if you go into under buy tags under our website on the main menu, there's join the Path Tag Club, and you can sign up for 1 to 10 tags every month. They're all the same. That month you get 10 of the same tags, but that gives you extras if you want to trade them or put them in your collection. People can choose them because some people don't want to subscribe to the club, so the club members actually have really nice opportunity. They can log their extra tags, and people will wish list, that month's tag, and then that gives them a good opportunity to go out and fulfill some wishes.
Sure.
We've been doing that for quite some time.
Long time.
Actually
Yeah, we've been doing it a long time.
we took that over. That was one of the things that was created by the community, by a community member, and run by them for a long time. It was a tank hound, Sue Stoker. She's now more famous for writing than for path tags, but at the time she was very into path tags, and it got to a point where she didn't want to carry it on, but there was a lot of interest, so we took it over and we put it in, as part of our website. So the other thing, that you can do on the website is what we call Path Cash. This is an interesting thing. It's essentially started out as our answer for gift certificates, but it turned out to be a lot more versatile the way we did it because, for example, at GeoBash, we had 4 $50 Path Cash certificates in the auction. So somebody got 3 of them for $45 each, so they got a little bit of savings there. But when they load them onto their account, it is now credit towards their next order, and whatever they have for balance, we deduct the Path Cash amount from the balance, and then they pay the difference. Some people use it as a way of kind of doing a savings plan. So, they'll go and they'll buy $20 in Path Cash every month or something until they have enough Path Cash to go ahead and complete their order. It's also something you can exchange on the website with people. So like if you have a Path Cash balance and you decide to do a design, some design partners accept Path Cash as payment. So you can send it to them right on the website too. So it became a little more versatile than a gift certificate, but that was the original idea. Is you purchase it and I can give it to you. I can use it myself. And some people have been using it as kind of a, almost like a layaway, right? So I'm going to save $20 a month for the next few months, and then I'll have enough to buy my Path Tag. Or maybe for Christmas or birthday, I'll ask for this, and I'll get a few certificates, and I can kind of compile them, and then eventually I'll have enough to make my full purchase there. So.
Okay. Anything else, guys? I think we've hit everything. Anything else you guys want to ask him?
Who
Jesse?
used the codes?
Oh, let's go.
Oh, are the codes? Oh, I don't know. If the codes are gone. Are the codes gone?
All right,
Or are they
don't
still
call out
available?
who, but I guess maybe have the codes been used?
Let me go check real quick. I didn't have that.
Unless, of course, they want to like fess up that it worked in the chat room. I haven't seen anybody in there, celebrating.
Promo manager.
I trust me. It was very difficult for me not to use the 25% off code for myself.
It has been used twice.
It's already
Whoa.
gone.
Already
gone. Yep.
Already gone.
Bonus for the live listeners.
That's
Yeah.
the
Well, you
joy
do
of being
have-
a live listener.
You do have a monthly promotion, though, right, Mike? Isn't there always
do a
something?
We do have a monthly NP Glenn was one of the ones who used it, so good on you.
Those
Glenn.
had to been refills, right?
That was a refill, and the other one was also a refill. Yeah, so
Yeah.
two quick refills, and then we've also had 2 people already use the 10% bonus. Scott was one of them, so that doesn't count.
Hey.
Actually, Scott was both of them, so it doesn't count.
Yay. Use it today.
I'm sorry. What was the? I'm highly distracted.
I get it. Every month there's a something, a promotion.
Oh yes,
right?
the promotion. So we listed on our front page. July was a 10% bonus. So if you go right now, you're gonna get 10% anyway. So the bonus that I gave you for this is good in August for a 10% bonus. We'll do something different in August. If you prefer that one, you can take that one, but it'll be something. It'll be 10% bonus tags, $10 off, free shipping, free plating upgrades, free glitter, free glow, those kinds of things. So yeah, we try and do something every month to keep it, interesting, and we kind of rotate them through because people have strong preferences. Like maybe they're waiting. Like we try and do them around the time where they'd be useful too. So like a couple months before Halloween, we'll do glow. A lot of people like doing glow for Halloween. A couple months before Christmas time, we'll do glitter because they like doing snowflakes and things like that with glitter. So we try and keep them useful. One of the other things that's super popular. We don't do this one very often because it's tough on us, like from a making the ends meet perspective. But we do it once in a while as kind of a public service. Is we'll do a 50 tag refill. So most of the time, 100 tag refill is our minimum, and that's because that's what's worth doing. That's what makes it work out for us.
Sure.
But we do a 50 tag refill every now and again. It's enormously popular. But it kind of kills us for the month because there's so many orders and they're all so small, So it's yeah, but we do it once in a while. That's enormously popular. But a lot of people ask, why don't you do it every day? And it's like, well, we can't, financially it doesn't work out, very positive at all. It's more like a public service that we do so that people who have a mold that's about to die, that's really important to them, they can get that, extended because every time you place an order with a mold, it extends that mold for 3 years. And that's kind of a pro tip, I guess, is you can take advantage of the refill special, but also we have a thing called a change request. So a change request lets you use the same mold, but change things. So like if I had a design I liked, but now I want to change the colors on it, as long as the metal aspects of the coin or the tag stay the same, yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can place what we call a change request, and you can say, I'd like to have the colors done this way. And what that does is it produces a second tag in the gallery, which has your new configuration of colors or plating. You can change the plating too. So if I had it black nickel and I want it gold now, that's a change request type of thing. What's nice about that is you get refill pricing because we are reusing your existing mold, and because it uses the mold, it extends the life of that mold by 3 years. So if you don't necessarily want exactly the same tag you had before, but you want to extend the life of the mold, you can actually create a new version of that tag using the base mold. As long as everything stays the same in the metal. Like for example, if you put 2002 in the metal design, and now you want to update that to 2010, can't do that. Still got to say 2002. So that's something actually to think about when you're designing your tags, because if you put things like that might want to change later, it's harder to change those things. That might be a good thing to use the vanity code for example, because I can put 2002 in the code and then 2010 in the later code, but I haven't done anything to the front side, which is where things are kind of locked down. So.
So Jess did that. Jesse, you did a 2019 coin, right? Or
I did
2020
2019, and then I did a 2020.
So you could have just changed the background color and not have to do a new mold,
right?
Basically.
If I didn't put the number on,
if you didn't put 2019 there, yeah,
right. And P. Glenn says you can restate an expired tag for a reasonable charge. Is that a true statement, Mike?
I think that was a request. That's not something we do today.
Oh, that wasn't a statement.
Yeah. Today it would require an order to extend the mold. I think someone was saying, have you thought about, or could you extend the mold for a fee? We could think about doing that. I'd have to talk to the factory. They're the ones who mandate that, by the way. We'd keep it forever if it was up to us. But it's not up to us. It's not in our facility. It's in their facility. So they say, well, that's part of the agreement we've had with them for 15 years. They don't keep it for 3 years for everybody in the world. So we've kind of had to negotiate that for a long time with them. But yeah, you can imagine if they're keeping these molds, they're eager to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a lot of inventory. 44,000.
Yeah.
And we're only one.
I mean,
one of
obviously not all of
too.
them, but yeah.
Right.
No, but you forced me to buy 2 tags today, so you forced my hand.
And that's some of the other stuff the website does. This, it's not to make you to buy them, but we have some, notifications that are built into the system that go out and remind you if things are going to expire. You can tune your preferences. If you have lost, by the way, if you're not getting communication from the website, it's probably because you marked the email as spam, and when that happens, it shuts it off on our side. So if you want to have it turned back on, you can contact us at support@pathtags.com, and we'll look at that for you. And yeah, I'll just throw this out there too. Anybody who's listening, and if you have any other questions, you think of after the show or whatever, Mike@pathtags.com. That's me. You can shoot me a note anytime, and I'd be happy to answer your questions and help you out. So
Yeah. Well, everybody, if you don't have a path tag, get a path tag. Every cache should have a
I
personal
agree.
They really should. No, they really should. The fun and it's ridiculously addicting when you get a couple, especially when you start trading, and it's like it just because I didn't do it for years. People would give them to me, and I would just hand them out to other people, or put them in a cache just because I didn't do it, and I finally got my own, and then boom, I was ridiculously addicted. So it's one of those things where it's like it just starts and you're grabbing for them.
It is the thing we find out. It's gotten harder, as my I would love to say that Pathtags pay all the bills, right? But I kind of do it as a passion project, like you guys probably do with this, right? This is not making you rich. You're having fun. You enjoy doing this. You've been doing it a long time. We're kind of in the same boat. Don't get me wrong. We make money doing it, but it's not enough to just do it. So I have a regular job. I have a wife and kids, and as I've gotten older and my kids have gotten older, more active, my ability to travel out to all these geocaching events has been diminished. So that was the number one way, though, that we promoted the product in the beginning, was we would bring the product to an event and give it to people. And what we found is that once you see one and you hold it, right, you're very likely to say, I need one of these, right? Because they are so cool. So I would say to people, if you're thinking about it, you're not totally sold on it, ask a buddy to see theirs. If you're at a geocaching event, try and find someone who's throwing them out to people. That's why when I go to an event, I always bring a bunch of them. I'm handing them out a lot because it is the number one way to get people excited about tags, is to see them and to hold them. And also to be in that event mode, right? Because like you said, people are just super generous about them. Like, okay, here's mine. I don't have one. That's okay. So it's a pretty cool thing. So, but I would love to get to more geocaching events. It's just difficult with life and kids and a regular job and
No,
all that
absolutely.
stuff.
I get it. It's one of the beauties that we have a porch. We have a cache on our porch, and I tell people, ring the doorbell if you see we're home. Knock on the door. If someone knocks on the door, they get a path tag.
Right.
It's
Nice.
like a bonus. They get a path tag.
I saw a chat message about your porch. I didn't get it until you just said that.
Yeah. We have a motel or a hotel on our a TB motel on our porch.
I just saw Art of Craft that said it's easier to get around to events once your kids move out.
Yeah,
it's probably true.
Yeah, they're a lot. So once they grow up, it's a lot easier. Yeah. All right, Mike. Thank you so much for coming on the show again. Super appreciate it. Always good to have you. Always good to see you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Nice shirt, Jesse. Yeah.
Right, we're twinsies.
You're twinsing each other.
I forgot to change. I saw that I was going to go put on the orange shirt from Mike and I are both wearing the Flamingo
Geobash
Club shirt from Midwest Geobash. I was going to go put on the orange event shirt and I forgot. So we're twinsies today.
And then, thanks for wearing your Pathtags one, Chaz. That was a nice touch.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate you inviting me. Let's not wait 3 years until we do it again. But
I know. I think it's been almost. Yeah, I think it's been 2 or 3 years.
It's been a while.
It might be.
I can't even remember.
That's why you were due. Thank you so much, buddy. You stay right there, okay? Give us 1 second. Stay right there. Hold on. I'm just going to throw you on mute. All right, Chad. Next week, we have so much to talk about. So much to talk about. So much to go over. Just to give you guys an example, here is my trackable of the host. Here is Chad's trackable of the host.
Kind of.
There is Jesse's trackable of the host contest. They're all in house. They're all here.
Wow.
Well, they're all kind of in house. We're gonna
we'll tell the story next week.
We got to talk about that. Chad's gonna have final numbers to see actually who won this 18-month nightmare of a contest. We're gonna see the final numbers of who won it. We also need to talk about Midwest Geobash. We've got Seattle coming up in a couple of weeks. So much stuff to get through next week because it's a Cash Your Coffee. It's the beginning of August. It's Cash Your Coffee. Baseball season's over. So happy about that. So we're all back. We're all going to be here for coffee. And we want everybody to join us. Phone lines will be working, I promise. Sorry, Mike, for not having phone calls. We know when to call in. So it is a cash or coffee next week. That's the show this week. So
real quick, Scott, what's the code
Yeah.
one more time if anyone wants an extra 10%
absolutely
tax for August?
The extra 10% code, because the 25% is it's not an extra 10%. Oh, it's 10% bonus tax.
Extra 10% bonus order. Mhm.
Bonus tags. It is GCPC Pathtags 22. So GCPC PATHTAGS 22. That is the code for a 10% bonus tags all through August until August 31st. The 25% off gone. Pays to be live, kids. Pays to be live. All right, so thank you, Chad. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jesse, for stopping by. And we're going to close this show. Here we go. Please join us again every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central as we stream live on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and on our website, geocachingpodcast.com. The archive video versions of our podcasts are available on our website or on our YouTube channel, and the audio versions are available on your favorite podcatcher. If you like the show, please head over to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it, and it really helps the show when you do. If you prefer to watch the show, make sure you click the subscribe or get notified buttons to know exactly when we go live. And hey, if you haven't already, please consider becoming a patron of our show. With tiers starting as low as $3, you will get a ton of additional information, extra audio, extra video, only available to our patron members. Please head on over to patreon.com today and subscribe. That's patreon.com/The Geocaching Podcast. Thanks once again to our sponsors, Cashly, Logwork, FDF Geocacher Magazine, the Max Huds Body Company, Practical Geocaching, Arted Crafted, Pathtags.com, Geocaching Adventures LLC, and GeoGo. To visit our sponsors, and when you make a purchase, you tell them the GCPC sent you. That's all we got this week. We'll see you next week talking geocaching, taking your phone calls. In the meantime, be good, be safe, hug your loved ones, and we will talk to you guys next week. And we're clear. Okay.
Wait,
What's wrong?
Ian says I'm going to tell everyone why I'm mad at him, but he's got to tell me why I'm mad at him. Ian, why am I mad at you? What did you do?
I muted you, Mike. What did Ian do? Why are you mad? Oh, I know why you're mad.
I don't know. Why am I mad at Ian?
She's already forgotten Ian so quickly she forgets.
Why? Because we didn't get our coins?
No.
I'm not worried about that. We'll get them.
No.
Because
No.
the group picture wasn't taken.
Why did we
The group
rush
picture wasn't
back?
taken at the advertised time. Is that why I'm mad at him? I wasn't the only one either. There were many people milling around outside at 6:00 going, were they going to take the picture? I'm like, yeah, I heard they already did. What? What do you mean?
Apparently the website-
It
can't
says
take that
6:00
early.
on the banner. It
The
says 6
website
o'clock on
and the banner said two different times for the picture.
Ah.
The website did say 5:30 or 5:45. In Ian's defense, not that I'm defending him.
The
in any way.
website, but the thing that I have. Wait,
Look at Ian, just straight up. It's not my fault.
look, this was given to every single cashier when they came in the door, and it very clearly says 6 p.m. group photo. So that's what I went by.
But if you go to the website, it says
I
5:45.
mean, I get mistakes happen, but like
it's always the organizer's fault.
Right? Who else are we gonna learn? Hey, Karen wants to know what's the current lead time running for Pathtags?
It's about 5
5
weeks.
Yeah.
5 weeks, Karen.
5 weeks. Trying to get it down.
Turtle Lady 1020 wants to know where can you go to design your tag before uploading?
So the best thing is a design partner, but I often use PowerPoint or Microsoft Word.
Really? I use
You
Photoshop.
guys can try it out.
Yeah.
I am not a guru. If you know those things, that's great. I find it easier to draw a circle in PowerPoint. It's super frustrating in Photoshop. Some weird reason.
You can also download a template too. You can download that circle template right there on the site.
You can, and we had a program called Pathtag Designer. It's just probably not working anymore. It's old. Sometime I need to rewrite that software. That's the other kind of thing I do. I wrote all the website. I write software like that too, and then all our back end stuff, So if you get your stuff shipped to you, it's because I wrote software that helps us do that quickly. That's been an interesting challenge. Like I said, they dropped this out of the blue and said, can't ship to Australia anymore.
Yeah, I had that problem too. I had that problem with we had
We had a
Australian
patron coin.
patrons. I sat on a patron coin for months. That poor soul, because Australia shut down.
But
And
you did. Was there other sources that are shipping there, or?
Yeah, well, what it was is they shut off. Like we use flat rate, right? USPS Friday email flat rate for pretty much everything, and that was working great. And then all of a sudden they shut it off to Australia. So our only option to ship from here. So we usually get the shipment in once a week because it's just cheaper to get them all sent here, and then we send them off to other people. Also a lot less complicated, because you don't have to be an importer in the other countries. Anyway,
Right.
So it turned out that there was a Priority Mail International.
Priority you could do, but it was like $80 to ship.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
stupid money.
And this is where people are like, Pathtags are more expensive than the alternative that's out there. And well, okay, but you know what we were able to do is we were able to continue to ship those without having to go back to those customers and say it's gonna be an extra $20, or whatever it ended up being. We took it out of our pocket and we paid for them to go. We thought we would wait it out, but it got to be where it was so long we eventually had to bump the price for shipping to Australia. But for quite a few orders, we just ate the difference. And that's one of the things that our pricing allows us to do, is to just do the right thing for our customers when we need to without going completely bankrupt, because we're not skating on the thin ice. And if someone's tag is not the best it can be, we do have a strict policy, pretty strict, about like, if you approved it and it was produced the way you approve it, that's it, right? That's what we warranty to you. But if there's something really kind of off about it, and at our discretion from time to time, we'll just go ahead and replace it at our cost. So we're able to do those kinds of things because we don't charge right on the razor edge of break even.
Right.
So it is a little bit of a premium compared to other options, which there aren't very many of, but it allows us to do that for our customers, and that's one of the reasons I think we're still here after 16 years.
Yeah. All right, let me go off, bring live. Mike, stay right there. Everybody, thanks for listening tonight. Really appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys next week. Everybody be well and be safe. Bye-bye.